Okay, so this recording is going to be extremely short, and for some... Okay, the stream better not start lagging again. It better not start lagging. Then again, I am downloading some stuff, so maybe that's part of it. Despite the fact that it's over 70% done. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's going to take... No, because, okay, so my complaint was about, like, a bit earlier. It was like 70% done, and it was like, yeah, you're gonna be taking about like another 7 hours for it to be done. I'm like, I'm gonna be at work in the next like within the next 7 hours, so I kind of want to get some things done before in that game before I go. Originally, I was gonna start streaming in GTA, but because of how long it's taking, I'm just going to... Wrong thing. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna take that down, take that down. I'm leaving Discord up, but take that off so that way things don't start going crazy. Put that up and put that up. There we go. I'm gonna be completely honest. I forgot that I stopped here. Oh yeah, I didn't stop here in the last one, and I'm lagging like shit. Okay, so I did go and what's it called? I went and fixed up the what's it called? I want to say ArcNet. That's not what it was. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Someone's gonna be like, "How do you not know what it is?" or some shit like that. And let me just okay. I'm gonna put that right here then. Okay, so let's get back to doing this again. Okay. Wow, I have so much more emeralds than I do in the other world. Let me go and sleep during night and okay. Yeah. So I went and fixed the what's it called? What is it called? The Enderman farm. And so yeah. That's been done. I really don't know what I was going with this. I fixed it. That's what I'm gonna say. Took me a bit, but I recorded a video for it, but then I ended up deleting that video for absolutely no reason. I don't know why. I had some things that I wanted to talk about because I was like, oh yeah, this stuff will be good to talk about, or because even if it's not a good topic, I'll be able to still bring up something for what's called for this stream. These plates behind me are all from like the bowl is from my breakfast, and the plate under is from pizza I had last night. I'm gonna bring them down today. Yeah, don't know why I always have to say what's going on, but anyway, something that I found is that like there's something that I witnessed happen in school, like back when I was in high school, back when I worked back when I at my old job, some of my old jobs, and some other stuff, and I didn't really think much about it until like was doom scrolling, and I came across a video that kind of just resurfaced this memory. I don't know why. I don't know what the thought process behind it is, but whenever there's like a breakup between two people, it doesn't matter what side of the relationship you were on. it doesn't matter. For some reason, and I don't know why, but and this always happens. For some reason, someone in that relationship that would like after they break up, doesn't matter what side of the relationship they were on, they will bring up their breakup at a time that has nothing to do with. Oh no. Oh no. I should have checked. I should have checked. Hold on, I'll be right back. We're not. Hold on. Got a towel somewhere. And I made all that progress. You know what? No, this is how it's gonna be. It's gonna be there. You know what? That's where we're gonna put it. That's where we're gonna put it. Okay, let me put that towel all the way over there. Make sure almost every time that this is not on the. This is not on the. Not on the. What's it called? On there. The green screen. At first, I bought it because I was like, I'm gonna use this for so many things. I have so many ideas. And then I used it for like one thing. Nope, this is where it's gonna be. It's gonna be made of emeralds. It's gonna be made out of emeralds. We just eat. I didn't realize it was gonna be right there. I honestly was like, okay, let me go and check. I think I even went to spectator mode even to check. I was like, this is gonna be a good place for this. I'm gonna fix that. I don't really want to fix that. Matt's thinking about doing like a community thing. I, on one hand, thinking, oh, that's a great idea. On the other hand, I'm like, no. It is so weird having all this power again. Like, having all of this. Whatever happens to netherite, to gain netherite? Nope. Okay. Okay, so I got okay. I got an idea how I want to use these. Okay, first things first. Let me take this. Which one has a bunch of stone in it? Yeah, okay, so on one of the worlds that I got, which is just a world that I'll sometimes stream on, sometimes I'll make a video on, and sometimes I'll just most of the time I'm just doing whatever. Um um I don't have all of this. It's just a flat world where it's the same thing. It's the same idea as what's it called? Oh wait. I forgot that I made this and I never used it. Anyway, I have an idea. All right. Okay. Another thing I found out is that, and I don't know why this is, but for some reason there are some people that will like be watching like my streams and they won't understand that there is such thing as a delay. Like they won't they for some reason, I don't know why, but they don't but for some reason they just will not understand the concept of a delay. I don't know why. But the reason why I say this is because like even I don't like even on like YouTube, even on YouTube or even on like on Twitch, YouTube, all of that stuff. For some reason, no, like there's a 6 second delay on YouTube. For some reason, there's a 12 second delay on Twitch. I don't know why there's a 12 second delay on Twitch, but it's like let's go with a 6 second delay on YouTube. All right, um they'll comment something, and if I do not reply immediately, it's hey, I'm here, why aren't you replying? And it's like, this is, I just saw your message. Like I just now saw your message like after that. I'm not sure why, but for some reason what's called, I'm gonna go up here and just How and why? Okay, you know what? We're just gonna go down and do some more trading. But first, like, I feel like I remember like when I was a kid, I was like, and still to this day, I'm still learning patience. But the thing I find really like odd about it is that for some reason I'm noticing that like less and less people over time do not like are learning patience. Like I think the reason why is largely because like we're so used to like having everything like immediately for us because it's like the internet where we are able to get like all of this all this knowledge really quickly, like as fast as like possible. But but the thing is that when it comes to like let's go to the top of here so we can, so I really think that okay. Yeah, but I think that a lot like we need to teach patience more and more now. Like we taught patience like before because it's always like, oh yes, things are not always going to be fast. But now it's like things are all fast. But then people will who are way too used to everything being fast for them. Now when it's like when they go up to a person, the person is like having like a delay, like is like, okay, yeah, let me go get that for you. Like for example, my when I worked back at Village Inn, there was this customer, or there was this family, very nice family. But then one of my coworkers, he was a server. He went up to them and was like, "Can I get you anything?" They're like, "Yeah, can we get some salsa?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And he turns around, not joking. He's standing there like this, has his pad right here, has the pen, and he's like, "Okay, yes, I'll go get that for you." Turns around, not joking. He does this. The moment he turns around the other direction, yeah, they ask him, "Hey, where's our salsa?" Like, did you just you just you just asked for it. You didn't. We had a lady come in at one point who who sat herself down and then immediately started like I watched her go and sit herself down and then she immediately came up to us and complained about how she's been there for like an hour and has not gotten served, and it's it like like do people forget themselves or something? You know, I never really tested this, but I kind of want to see something. There's a village over here. Is there anything past it? Like anything around here? Anything over here or something? Because I don't think I've ever really. Oh hey, there's an igloo right here. Oh. Um. Here's I've already been here. I just realized I was looking up. I don't have to look up. But like I think I really feel like that there were like I remember as a kid I was always taught I was always told, yeah, everyone's learning patience. You need to learn patience. Patience is a virtue. And it's always like that. And yes, patience is a virtue. I don't know why and excuse that I said it in that way. But I was taught like as if it was life or death. But then all of a sudden I see these people and it's like where, like, were they not taught it or something? Like, I wonder if people, like, there's people that I honestly wonder if they were ever taught patience. How are we doing, by the way? I kind of want to, I don't know why I still have this here. I don't really need it. Yeah, it's not really needed. This specific one right here. It's not really needed. Okay. Well, let's go and get her. Let's go and get. I'm hoping that it fixed itself. Okay, let's go. You know what I should probably do? What if I were to get... I have an idea. Let me... So, because I think this might fill it up faster. Maybe. Who knows? Never mind. Okay. I think I have maybe like some if I don't, I can always make more. Just to see. I need to look around just to see so if I have it just in case I decide to make another one and it's like, yeah, you didn't, turns out you didn't need another one. Didn't even waste those resources. I do. I only need 2 of them. There are some concepts that are coming around that people are like, oh, this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. And I'm over here just being like, this is not new. Can I open it like that? No, I cannot. Yeah, after this stream, I'm just gonna like play GTA, but I'm just going to like just mess around in there. Maybe do some stuff, who knows. Oh ho, oh ho, it's off to work we go. Okay. Now I do this. Boom. Okay, and then we're gonna put this over here. Not there. Like, for example, like an example would be like like a bunch of people got mad at Power World for like this is an old concept, okay? A bunch of people got mad at like Power World for like taking inspiration from or quote copying Pokemon. But my thought process on it was, okay, so what? This is not the first time that someone has copied Pokemon. No, several other games have done it. Pokemon's actually gotten a lot of the way how they play it from several different games. So if you want to play that route, then those other companies can come at Nintendo for this stuff. of not to mention like there's like a whole bunch of different games that have the same exact concept, same exact play style. Digimon and Pokemon are very similar. Or someone can come at me in the comments and be like, no, actually they're not because of this. No, they're similar. I don't care what you say. They're similar. Okay, same exact concept. Okay, not to mention Rick and Morty. I mentioned this in my last stream. Rick and Morty did actually made a game that was basically Pokemon, but instead of Pokemon, it was Morty's, and you were just playing as a Rick, and that was it. You're playing as a Rick, and you're catching different Mortys. That it's the same exact. It was the same concept as Pokemon. Nobody cared. No one cared. This was back when I was in 8th grade. Actually, what year was that? Let's see. I turned 14, so. It was either 20. It was either 2017 or 2016. It was one of the two. One of the two. And like my thought process on it is, why are we getting mad? Like, okay, if it is back-to-back similar, back-to-back identical, like if it is exactly the same, then yes, that is a grounds for we shall sue. But if it's to the point where it's like bootleg, like I'm not joking, the amount of bootleg games, bootleg products that are out there that are just like, oh, it's exactly the same thing, but instead of becoming Pokemon, it's just called Pokemon. It's called Poke the Man. That's just what it's called. That like the only thing that's different is the name. Apparently, like for some reason, that's enough to be like, oh yeah, it's off-brand. It's an off-brand thing. It's fine. You can't sue them over it. It's an original idea. Like don't get mad. Like another example of concepts being thought of is that if anyone remembers the game Among Us, which a lot of people are still playing, but that entire like concept of like a bunch of people being in a because the entire point of Among Us is you're supposed to figure out who is the imposter, who's the killer, who's the alien, right? And well, a bunch of people, let me see, a bunch of people in an area doing tasks and trying to figure out and voting to figure out who the killer is. That concept that's not even the original concept. Like, oh, people in a certain place trying to figure out who the killer is. That's Clue. That's a whodunit. Clue isn't even the original one, and yet it's the first one I can remember doing. Like, it's even a board game. Clue. The entire and also Lethal Company. There's like a whole bunch of different games that do it. I don't remember. I think there's one that's called Pilgrimage or something like that. There's one where it's like you're inside like a you're like in an elevator and there's like a mouth on the top. I don't remember what that one's called. But then there's also Volt Train. There's Raft, and then there's Volt Train, which I think are made by the same guys. I don't know. But like the entirety of people getting mad at one singular game because it had something similar to another game. You shouldn't be getting mad about this because this is not a new thing. How long have I been here? Honestly, I'm probably just gonna be doing this for an hour. I've been going for 29 minutes. I honestly thought that was going longer. Okay. How much of this do I got? How much do I have? Okay, well, it's a good thing I'm taking all of this because then because now I'm able to go and, I should probably like make like different like stairs. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. So 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 4 times 14. So 4 times 4, that's 16. So 6, carry the 1. 4 times 1, that's 4 plus 1, that is 5. So 56. 56 divided by 2. That would be 28, I believe. 28 times 2. Miss me. The 28. Someone's gonna tell me that I'm wrong. And then the math teacher's gonna, and then the math teacher's over there being like, show your work. You didn't do that. You didn't do that correctly. That's something I always hated in school, is the show your work method. It's like, actually, you know what? Hold on. 56. Yeah, I was right, 28. Yeah, that's something I hated back in school, was the show your work method. And it's like, you watched me do the work. You watched me. Yeah, there was no way that I could have cheated. I could not have been like, okay, I'm pulling out my phone right now while you're watching me. Yeah, no, you watched me fill in the answers. I did not guess. You and I discussed this. I'm taking that. You and I discussed having like, we talked about like what the answer was. We didn't write it down, but you and I literally were, you were helping me on this. You were like, you were sitting right next to me, like asking me, okay, so what would this times this number be? Okay, I think it's this. Okay, well, what would this times this number be? Okay, this. Okay, great. And then you turn it in and it's like, yeah, I didn't see you do, yeah, you didn't do the work on this. You probably cheated. It's like, you literally helped me. Like, that was something I never understood, was the, oh, well, I don't, how do I know you didn't cheat? And it's like, you watched me as I... I always hated that. I always hated that. It's like, if you didn't show your work, then you didn't do it right. And it's like, how? How? I did it in my head. And that's the other thing. It's like, that's the other thing is that, like, what do you mean I can't do it in my head? That's like, apparently, according to teachers, kids cannot think. Like, I did it in my head. No, you didn't. Are you saying I don't have the brain capacity to think? Someone's gonna be like, you're going to extremes here, and I'm over here like, and to which I say, yeah, trust me, there are a lot more extremes I can go to. Which, another thing I really did not understand is the entire what's called, was like, oh, well, if like, you would do something, and like an adult would be like, well, why'd you do that? I was like, oh, because the other people were, because someone else was doing it. And then their immediate response would be, yeah, oh, well, if they jumped off a bridge, would you do it? And it's like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? Like, We went from me like taking some fries from a plate that was literally given to everyone, was said, oh, everyone can have it. And your first response is, was comparing taking fries to going and just committing suicide. Great. That's nice to know. That's nice to know. Also, there are some words that I honestly don't like. Okay, I understand like where some words need to be censored on the internet, but then there are some where I'm just saying there like, why do you need to censor that? The reason why is because well, someone actually brought this up a long time ago, like and like this was back when Vine was alive, because this was a Vine. Somebody said, I don't understand why they feel the need to censor when somebody flips somebody off. Like they always put like a blur around the finger specifically. And it's like, why do they need to do that? Because everyone knows what that is. Everyone knows what it is. It's no one's going to be saying they're like, oh, I wonder if there's a giraffe behind that blur. Like the amount of times we have censored certain things. I went too okay. Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah, I had too much. The amount of times we like censor certain words, people are able to put through context, use context clues to figure out like what the person is saying. Like nobody's gonna sit there and be like, oh, I wonder what they said. And it's like, I know exactly what they said. Censoring it is not gonna stop me from knowing what they said. The only time censoring is really gonna stop people from knowing what someone said is if you censor the whole conversation and only leave like one word in. But the entire point of like censorship is because, oh, we don't want people to know what they're saying. But we don't want the people to think that they're saying something bad. But the problem with censorship at this point is now whenever like you censor out what somebody says, your immediate thought, like, I don't know if this sounds to please. Like if I were to be like, okay, you guys can probably hear that, I don't know. But that sound, anytime you hear that sound, because of how like censorship goes, you immediately think that when the sound of comes on, you immediately think, oh, what that person said was probably bad. It's not like I get it, like you don't want kids to hear it, but at this point, the amount of how much people stopped caring because the amount of like oh no, only adults can say that, and we can't have kids hear this because they need to stay kids. Same person that says that, oh no, you need to grow up faster. Bro, why are you still a kid? We can't have kids here. You need to grow up faster. Why can't you just be more mature? Same people. There was a question that was asked. It's like, we grew up way too fast. Why did we rush everything? My answer to that is the reason why we rushed everything is because we were told to rush. We were told to grow up faster. We were told this. And that's the problem with growing up, is that you're told to grow up fast. And then when you grow up fast, your parents, the same people that would tell you that you need to grow up, you need to be more mature, they're over here being like, oh, I remember when you were a kid, you were like this. What happened to that? I grow up. That's what happened. I grew up. The problem with being an adult is that you often forget what it was like to be a kid. That's the main problem. The main problem with growing up is that you forgot what it was like to be a kid. It's not fun to grow up. It's not fun. Like, yeah, sure, you're able to do certain things. Like, a pro for being an adult, I can have ice cream and pizza for breakfast and nobody can stop me. And a con would be I can have ice cream and pizza for breakfast and no one can stop me. The same thing that seems really great can also be really bad. Okay, so you do give diamond pickaxes. Okay, good. So I say, like, yes, grow up, but don't grow up quickly. Grow up at the same pace of which you are already growing up. All right, grow up at a moderate pace. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. I could have gone down the easy way. Why didn't I go down the easy way? Oh, whatever. But then I forgot to put like a whatever. It's fine. Yeah, I didn't realize it would be right here. Friend? Another reason for this is that I talked about this already, but one of the problems with growing up is that, like, there was a bunch of shows that I did not get to watch when I was a kid, all right? There's a lot of shows that I didn't get to watch when I was a kid. And as a result, there's a lot of things that I didn't get to do as a kid because I was kind of left out of the loop of things that a lot of people wanted, a lot of people were doing. I was left out of the loop, all right? Like, because a lot of kids were going around watching all these shows, watching Adventure Time, SpongeBob, regular show. I wasn't allowed to watch this stuff. Steven Universe, even. I wasn't allowed to watch that. And so I was left out of the loop, and as a result, I a lot of times felt like that I missed out a lot of my childhood, a lot of like a childhood. But then I'm going back. Invader Zim was even one of them, and I actually decided, you know what, I'm gonna watch a show that I didn't get to watch when I was a kid, so I'm gonna watch it. And so I watched Invader Zim. I watched the entire thing all the way through. And my only thought throughout the entire thing was, well, I did like it, but I didn't like it as much as I thought I was gonna like it, because like when I was a kid, I was always told how amazing the show was. I was always told, oh yeah, this is great. But the problem is that now I didn't really enjoy it as much as I would have if I watched it when I was a kid. Yes, this is gonna be a long, long process. But I didn't get to, but because I didn't watch it when I was a kid, now that I'm a lot older, I'm an adult, I don't enjoy it as much as I would have if I watched it when I was a kid, because when you're a kid, you don't really notice a lot of stuff. You see something, you're like, that's actually funny, but then as an adult, you're like, why? And I don't like that that's what happened. I don't like that's what happened. It's not fun. Still, wait, what else do you? Not really much. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go to the nether. I'm gonna go get, actually. Where, okay, crafting table right here. But yeah, that's the problem. Like, and now I've been recommending to watch SpongeBob, but Problem is that I'm kind of hesitant to watch it because, as I said, what I would have liked to watch as a kid, now I'm not gonna look at it. I'm not gonna be. It's not gonna be as good to me now than if I watched it when I was a kid. That's another thing. Like you can go. You can if I've brought this up several times before as well. That if you can be brought back everything that you used to do as a kid. You can be like everything that you used to love when you were a kid. It can be brought back in the same exact way as it was when you left it. And you would sit there and be like, "What is this? What? Wait, hold on. This is not what I remember." And the reason is because yeah, it's not what you remember, but it is what this was. It is how it used to be. This is what it used to be like. And you'll be like, no, I remember it being a lot different. And the reason why is because, yes, you do realize it being a lot different because you remember it being this amazing thing. Because when you're a kid, that's how you saw it. But as an adult, you now notice the parts that you were ignorant to when you were a kid. As an adult, you see them now. You see that. Do I have paper? That's another thing I want to know. Is do I have paper? That's the problem with growing up. That's the problem is that you now notice more stuff. That you didn't when you were a kid, and now that you notice it, you think it's you think it's not what it used to be, when that's exactly what it had, when that's exactly what it did used to be. Okay, good thing I remembered this. Okay, paper. How do you spell paper? Okay. It was just the fact that, like, I didn't really care much for it now than I would have if I would just watched it when I was a kid. I'm gonna try and watch SpongeBob, but I'm pretty sure I'm not really gonna care much for it, but who knows, I might love it. It's that same feeling that you get when it's like, yeah, this was a really great show when I was a kid. I mean, I love it. And then you watch it now, and now all of a sudden that show has like some stuff that it's like, oh wow, I don't remember being this racist. Somebody's gonna be like, why did you jump to that conclusion?
Hey, that's pretty good.
Oh, hello. Thanks for the follow. Luke Renston. I am not good at reading, so sorry if I wasn't able to read your name. But that's the problem with a lot of shows, that you'll watch as a kid, but then you watch it again as an adult, and all of a sudden, all the stuff that it's like, oh, all the stuff that's on there is like, oh wow, none of this stuff would fly today. And it's like now you're wondering like where all that stuff was when you were a kid, and it's like it was always there, you just didn't notice it. And it's kind of, and it's really sad. I don't know why I'm talking about this sad stuff. I'm really trying to like think of like other stuff to talk about, but I can really be talking about literally anything else. So we're gonna try. So I'm gonna like play some GTA after this for the next until I have to go to work. Hopefully I can start getting. Hopefully I can get What was I doing? Okay, I'm gonna go put this down there, and hopefully I can start because it's like $50 million for like the new mansion, and I'm over here, and so we're gonna do like a big payday, but I'm gonna go and do some stuff to make sure like oops, I'm gonna go and do some stuff to make sure that I get like everything. I might do a stream maybe today, maybe tomorrow about like just going and getting some stuff ready. I might do another Dr. Dre mission. Do a bunch of missions that gets me like I know no, I'm not gonna fill this entire thing up with emeralds. I'm not filling this up with emeralds. I'm making an emerald beacon. I would go down further, but like right under this is like my entire villager farm, which I honestly thought that I did not think would be like right there. I did not think would be right there. So let's go over to the nether. Let's get ourselves that that nice shulker box of rotten flesh, and then we're gonna go and trade all of it. There we go. Is this it? Yep, this is it. Let's go. Do I have another shulker box on me? I do. There we go. Missed me. Okay, here we go. Okay, in here, making. You know, I'm really good at making things not be able to spawn. All right, let's go and trade this with the villager up here. Hello, friend. I need to trade this with you. Okay, wow. Okay. Now let's go down and go and trade with the other guys. Because they also trade gold as well and rotten flesh. I don't know what they would be using the rotten flesh for, but... You know, I remember that there was a mod that made it so that you were able to, like, put rotten flesh into a furnace, and then it would turn into leather. The amount of trading that could be done with that. You can just get a leathersmith. Well, friend, I'm just gonna trade this with you until... Actually... And you give that. Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep doing this. Well, I do need the... Okay. You. Took me a lot of going to the Nether to get all the blaze rods for this. It also took me a long time to get them all up here. So, yeah, just give me all of your... Give me the emeralds. And that's it. That's it for now. Actually, I do need to get, Okay, so we don't have that much time left, and I just... Okay, so I got 6 of them. So now that I've done that, that should be enough time for whoever whoever needs to like restock. I need them to restock. There we go. Okay. I have beds and crafting tables everywhere. First law of making a world in Minecraft: you must have a crafting table everywhere. It doesn't matter where you build your first base. It doesn't matter. Or the moment that these two are put together. The moment they're put together. My game just lagged. The moment these two are put together, the furnace and the crafting table. The moment those are put together, that's home. It doesn't matter. Oh yeah, that's right. I got an entire melon farm. What am I thinking? Why haven't I decided to do that yet? There we go. All right. All right. What am I doing? Oh yeah. Yeah, the entire project of doing this is just... There we go. Alright, I think I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you guys for watching. Let's do a bit of reading. Psalms 29. Psalms 29. Ascribe to the Lord, O mighty ones. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord the glory due to his name. Worship the Lord in the splendor of his holiness. The voice of the Lord is over the waters. The God of glory thunders. The Lord thunders over the mighty waters. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is majestic. The voice of the Lord breaks the cedars. The voice of the Lord breaks in pieces the cedars of Lebanon. He makes Lebanon skip like a calf, Syrian like a young wild ox. The voice of the Lord strikes with flashes and lightning. The voice of the Lord shakes the desert. The Lord shakes the desert like Kadesh. The voice of the Lord twists the oaks and the strips of the forest bare, and in his temple all cry, Glory. Yeah. The Lord sits enthroned over the flood. The Lord is enthralled as king forever. Enthroned as king forever. The Lord gives strength to his people. The Lord blesses his people with peace. That was Psalms chapter 29. Chapter 29. Thank you guys. That's going to be it. See you guys later. Goodbye.